Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're just gonna give a quick market update video on where Bitcoin's at and what's gonna happen in the coming months. We got a lot of things right, and we're gonna replay a bunch of things from the previous videos to show what we've been saying the market will do and what we got right. And yeah, I really think this is gonna be an exciting month. Next few months, I think within the next 60 to 90 days, it's probably gonna reach the bottom, and it's gonna be the absolute best time to enter crypto. Most of the money is made in the bear market because it's the lowest price it's gonna be until the next cycle. So without further ado, let's just look at a few review videos. I mean, a few videos we did in the past, just to see what we did before. So let me just play this first video. This was a month ago. I played this, yeah, almost a month ago in June. Yeah, so this was still in June actually, not even July, more than a month ago. So here you can see it's in my crypto website. It's still an asterisk in July. So this was actually like July was still happening. So this is probably very early July. And let me just play what I said here. There's only 4 positive months in August, right? Let's just remove 2012 because it wasn't even full year. So there were 4 positive months out of the 13 months, out of the 12 months. So August is also likely to possibly be negative, right? But on average, it's positive because it had this giant positive move in 2017. So we can just say August could be slightly neutral, right? We can go up like just a few percentage points or be at the same place where we're at in July. And now we're going to look at September. September is a negative month. It is actually the worst month if we remove the first year, right? It's the worst month so far in terms of the history if we don't include 2026. If we include 2026, it's the second because June was a negative month, right? But if we remove this data so that all months are the same, it is the worst month in crypto calendar by on average, right? So what does a potential path look like? In the calendar monthly seasonality, it is saying that September is going to be probably a negative month. And in the crypto timeline calendar, it's saying that the bottom is around either October to December, right? October to December, plus minus 2 weeks. So what these two things are kind of converging on is saying that it's going to be a negative September. And if it's plus minus 2 weeks, it's possible that the bottom will also be in September, right? You can see this is probably minus 1 or 2 weeks from this bottom that we drew on 19th October, could be late September, right? So at the end of September, we probably have a pretty big or sizable crash that will lead us to lower levels. And that will probably be it, right? Now, so I played that at times two speed just so that I could get the point across. But we had this video, yeah, a month ago, and basically I was saying it was probably gonna be a neutral August, and it's gonna be a down September. And if you actually look at the charts now, this played out exactly. So like in July, early July, it was still around here. Yeah, so here it was around here, and basically I was saying that it's gonna be a neutral September, and if you look at it, this is as neutral as it gets. It's literally going sideways, and this is probably what's gonna happen. It's gonna go sideways until it hits the line, and then sometime between September and mid October, that's probably where it's gonna make a decision, and that's probably gonna be the final leg down. I also have another snippet here. Yeah, we took this 13 days ago, so I did this at the start of August, so August 4. The first video that we played was actually on, what does it say? July 14. So the first video was July 14, where we're saying it's probably going to be a neutral August, and a neutral August is happening. And here is a video 13 days ago. Yeah, the start of August, where you can see the chart actually. It hasn't moved yet, so it's still here, like the near the drop. Let's just play the snippet. I do think going down is the more likely situation because we don't see this bottoming out pattern yet, and in terms of time-based moves, it seems like it's a bit slightly too early for it to bottom, right? I'll show you a bunch of other charts that support this in a bit, but yeah, right now in terms of the technical side, it seems like for August and September, I feel like it'll be slightly negative. And then in September or October, that's where we're gonna finally see another big move, probably another big crash to lower levels. So why do I think that there's gonna be a bigger crash other than these technical? So basically, there I was saying that it'll be just slightly negative, so basically neutral, and then September will have a big move. So now looking at this, when you look at the chart that we drew a while ago, and that's actually how it's playing out. Like if we zoom in, we drew that chart over here when like at around August 3rd, yeah, August 3rd, and then now literally the last 2 weeks it's been neutral and it's been going sideways. So we made this call pretty accurately. And what's really happening here is Bitcoin's being squeezed between these two channels, right? And once it hits this band, it's gonna make a small decision to go down. It can't, yeah. It has two support lines, right? This one support line on this channel where it used to come from the highs, and then this diagonal support line that's squeezing it from the lows. This final crossing happens in October 19th, right? That's when those two support lines cross. So if we get squeezed all the way until the final date, then it'll make a decision by mid-October. But yeah, that's what we're seeing. If we're looking back at the charts, if we're looking back at the charts here, um, that's what we're seeing right now. August is as neutral as it gets. Right now we're at point 0.3. I did say it's gonna be slightly negative, but I don't know. August isn't done yet, so this might still be slightly negative. Um, but yeah, August seems like it's playing out. We only have like 2 weeks left in August, and that's probably gonna be neutral. Now, I think the optimal range for the bottom, as again we've been talking about last few times, is gonna be from the September to October timeframe. Specifically, if we look at historical cycles and movements, I think that it's gonna bottom somewhere between September 20th and October 25th. So this can be plus minus 2 weeks. We're all just like guessing based on like previous performance, but this seems to be like the weakest window that's gonna happen. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm preparing a lot of my cash allocation so that we can scale in when we do hit these lows, because there's gonna be like an immense buying opportunity. There is one caveat though that I've been thinking, and I hope it doesn't play out, but this is just one thing that um, that's in my mind. So basically, a lot of people have been talking about the AI bubble, right? And how everything's a bubble. If you don't, if you don't follow a lot of finance YouTubers, yeah, a lot of people saying that there's gonna be an AI bubble and the AI bubble is gonna collapse and pop. So that is possible, and that's just like one of the major headwinds that I see, where Bitcoin could go down further than historical movements. And that's because if you look at actually, for example, the S&P 500, um, S&P 500. So if you look at the S&P 500, historically it's just been going up, right? Like if we just like zoom out, like it's just been going up. And the only things that we can see here actually are the major drops here from our lifetimes are this one, which is the 2000.com bubble. And then the second one was the 2007 2009 financial collapse. But actually, this doesn't take into account inflation, right? So the stock market is going up, but the prices of goods is also going up. So if we divide that actually by the M2 money supply, which is the amount of money that they're printing. So US M2, I think. Yeah. So if we divide that, it gives us a very different chart. And this is what I've been like looking at. It's kind of worrying. But I don't think we really can play around these moves too much anyway. So this is the M2 money supply. If we divide the price of stocks by the M2 money supply, this is what it looks like. So what you see is like it's kind of now just in a channel, right? Right now it's just in a channel. And then stocks don't look as impressive because now it looks like it's just range bound between these two things, right? Granted, um, when you adjust for this inflation, you still do make a gain. So, for example, from the bottom um, to the top after the after the 2008 financial crisis, stocks still went up 300% against inflation, right? But what's a bit worrying is this entire date range, stocks was down. So stocks were down for around 448 weeks. You know, that's like 10 years, And I don't know if we're there again. So right now we're at the same spot, inflation adjusted for stocks as the dot com bubble. And it's going to be quite scary if, stocks go down for 10 years. Of course, it does pick back up, you know. But inflation adjusted, I mean, M2 money supply adjusted, we're just at the same level as we were during the dot com era. Of course, there are other ways to look at this. I'm trying to make graphs so that it can show you based on the CPI rather than the total money. But this is what it looks like in terms of the total money supply. And this is no joke. Like this is 10-year period, and Bitcoin actually only started existing here in um, 2009. So we don't really have much historical data on how it will behave um, if something like this were to happen. Because yeah, if we looked at the other chart a while ago, stocks has just been going up for as far as we can remember. I mean, this was in 2009, and Bitcoin existed only here at this 2009 era when stocks are going up. It never existed during this downturn era. So while we can make this analysis for gold and other assets, we don't know how Bitcoin will respond during like something like this. But I mean, the only thing is we do know that during these down periods, we've had some down periods. Um, we know how Bitcoin reacts during those periods, and so far, as long as we look at the relative comparison, it still seems like it's gonna be a good investment. So if you guys don't know what that means, just so that I can share my thoughts and peace of mind, is if we look at the versus comparison, we have this in the website. Um, So this is what it looks like. This is Bitcoin versus the S&P, and this is all the way back to like 2012, right? Because Bitcoin only really existed in 2009 after the financial crisis. But I mean, if you look at these, there were major depressive areas during the S&P, and this is captured here um, as well. Bitcoin was also going down during some of those times, but this chart still encapsulates Bitcoin's price relative to the S&P. And usually when it's down here, Bitcoin is asymmetrically a better bet. So even if this dot com bubble did happen, according to at least the data that we have until 2009, that would still be a good rotation. So I'm still gonna make it to the bet. Besides, we can't really super have this dictate all of our investment decisions because during the dot com bubble, this actually went past the first peak, right? Back in 1960s, we never got this high in terms of M2 money supply adjusted. Um, so who's to say that we won't go even farther up, right? Since we went farther up the first time, who's to say that we won't go farther up the next time? So yeah, but that's just one thing that I'm looking at. It could be possible headwind. I still think September October timeframe will be a major area for investing in Bitcoin. So I'm probably still gonna put a lot of money. But yeah, my only concern right now is whether or not this AI bubble is looking like this .com bubble where it just goes down for around 10 years. Granted, the bubble was starting to recover, and then we had the 2009 financial crisis. Um, but you know, this was one big period in time where it was just like really going down. But anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts. I do think that going into
Charts
these
are pointing to a downtrend and lower level.
I do think going into
Positive. That's actually
these
usually what happens, right? July
moves,
is usually positive.
we got a lot of these correct. So I think moving forward, that is what's gonna happen. So yeah, if you guys like these kinds of videos, like and subscribe. And actually, if you guys want, go to the website, LofiLedger.com. You can actually create alerts on this. So this is like the risk level chart that I use in like looking at what the price of Bitcoin is at and giving me alerts on when to enter. So I think the worst possible bottom, it'll well compared to historical price, it'll be around 40K Bitcoin. So if you wanted an alert, you could have an alert for 40K Bitcoin on the normal price, but it's better to have an alert based on the risk level because these values actually change. So basically, we have this price model that calculates the price of Bitcoin moving forward, and it computes its relative valuation against this model, right? So every day, the risk level of Bitcoin changes even if the price stays the same. It's not a huge difference, but if you wanted to alert yourself, you can just click alert, and then you could set a level of where you want the alert to happen. So like if you want to be alerted at 0, then it'll like email you. So this is like an automated way to like give you an idea of when to invest, right? You can watch my videos, just understand how I'm analyzing the charts, and then make alerts for yourself so that even if you miss my video, you'll receive an email if any of the alerts that you had went through. So this actually, yeah, this would have been working on. We also have a mobile app. Right now it's on Android. I'm working on the iOS version. The iOS version still doesn't have alerts. So yeah, I mean, yeah, shameless plug. But yeah, if you like these videos, like and subscribe. And if you don't wanna get the app or download, it's fine. I'm gonna update everything here on YouTube. This is just something that I thought I would offer in case you guys wanted alerts outside of like subscribing. But yeah, anyway, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.